It's time to talk about justice. Oh, I need my box up here so I can put Sarah Marchetti's work up here for you to see. There we go. Let's hold it up here for you. Isn't that beautiful print of many of Ciro's, well, all of his art so far? I'll put onto one print right here, the justice card. Um, and for me, justice is a simple card. Again, it's seed time and harvest energy. When it shows up in a spread, it means that things have been out of alignment. And this is, it's a major arcana. And I believe that these cards, these majors, involve the divine. Things may be out of your hands when the major shows up. But justice is absolutely the balancing out of energies. It's either going to balance out or the sword's going to drop. I mean, one hand's got the scales and the other one's got the sword. Um, I'm not too hip on blind justice. Sometimes the justice cards has a blindfold on it, and other times it does not. Personally, I want justice to see nice and clear myself. I don't want justice blindfold. I've never really understood the blindfold on the justice card. Maybe somebody can explain that to me. I'd like justice to be nice and clear and everybody see the truth. Right. All right. Marchetti's justice. And that's how we start off right here before we crack the old books, right? We're going to take a look at some pictures and some tarot cards and all that fun stuff. This is Shadowscapes. Let me find justice in here. Oh, there it is right there. Flipped right open to it. It's a beautiful angel. Generally, the angel is feminine. Quite a gorgeous deck. And it's really, I mean, it looks nice, but when you play with it, this deck can actually be pretty rough. But this is beautiful. It's got the butterflies around the scales right there, and the feather. Yeah, there is no sword here. There is no sword here. Interesting. I'm making sure it's justice. It is justice. There's just a big feather and a scale. Okay. All right, but no blindfold. All right. I get along with that. All right, let's take a look at some justice cards I have here. This is a fun one, ain't it? I love this deck. It's super nice. They gave all the dragons personalities. Yeah, it's so beautiful. And this justice has got a little raton in one of them, and a wise old owl, and definitely standing right there on that sword. It's a cool justice card. I think so too. Um, what else we got around here? Oh, classic justice from the Terra Illuminati. Again, the scales in one hand, the sword in the other. When I read tarot too, and justice comes up, I look at the positioning of the sword. If it's crooked, I don't know. If it's nice and straight, there may be some balancing out coming in, but I don't know. To each their own. If that sword's crooked in little ways, not good for me. This is a harpy. Justice. This is Mythical Creatures Tarot Bubba Studios. Quite a gorgeous deck. They started working on this deck, I think, in 2005 and ended in like 2020. They like 12, 15 years putting this deck together. I don't know how you make a profit like that. and then they only sold 500 of the large ones. They sold 500 of just the pinned because it was black for a long time before they put the watercolor and the metal on it. But so they only sold 500 of these, and they sold 500 of the black and white ones. And their smaller decks are always limited as well. It's definitely out of print. Hopefully, they come out with another printing of it. That is Justice from Mythical Creatures. This is Justice from the Tarot of Prague. I always have fun with this one because Justice is standing on a white elephant. How can you ignore that? I mean, I always have fun. There's a white elephant in the room here. Nobody seems to be paying attention to, and that sword right there is a little crooked. So it's just little things that I do with my tarot. I'm not telling you to do that, but little subtleties in the pictures. Just and Source knows that kind of stuff, and they will pull your eyes to certain things when you're doing readings. This is a fun one right here. Fantastic Miniature Rat. I finally learned how to say that. I was watching some of my teaching videos at first. I finally learned it says Fantastic Miniature Rat. It's a Bubba Studios again. I love it right there. The old the old unicorn. And I always have fun with it. It's like somebody's going to jail, man. Somebody's getting a book thrown at them right there. That's an interesting justice card. This is an interesting justice card as well. This is the Vertigo. DC Comics, very collectible. I don't know, man. Justice with a gas mask, and this looks like an oil pump. yeah. This deck right here, ain't no telling what when I play with this deck, what's going to come off of this one. These old montage. But they put all kinds of pictures together. Damn it. Yeah. DC Comics, Vertigo, Justice. This is my pencil drawn Justice. I'm not sure, again, how to say this character's name. Ison G. You can get this on Amazon. And this is a nice Justice as well. Seated on their throne right there. Let's see if I can get some glare off. White don't show too hot on my OTV. But the sword is straight up and down. They're definitely seated in their throne right there. There's no blindfold. Scales look balanced. It's a nice Justice card as far as that goes with me. This is a fun one too. This is Tarot Apocalyptus. It's got Maat, I believe. That's how you say it. Maat, an Egyptian goddess on it. And again, we see the weighing of the scales with the heart versus the feather, and if you go to the other side, if you're going to the star, you had to pass through Maat right there, and they would weigh the scales of your heart, and if it was heavier than a feather, you went the other way. And that is Justice. Justice really has to do a lot with morality many times too. Anyway, we'll talk about that. The Visconti, it's in a museum somewhere over in Europe. It's ancient. And it hasn't changed much. It does have a crooked sword on it, which, again, I pay attention to with this deck. Classic. What is this? The Universal? Yeah. Universal Justice. Sword straight up. Scales look balanced. There might be hope. I like that. This is Tarot Art Nouveau. And again, it is another Justice card with no sword. So I don't know what to do with Justice when it doesn't have a sword. Sometimes I feel like I want to draw one in there because it's Justice. So it's either the scales or the sword. Yeah. This is from the Fairies Tarot. I love this little deck. It's so much fun. This is a nice Justice as well. Except, this little fairy has a blindfold. Then to each their own. Some people like the blindfold on justice. Personally, I don't, man. But the sword is straight up, and the scales look balanced as well. And it's just a nice energy off of that right there. And this is Starman's Justice. And the story that I always get off this one, right, is you be balanced. You be in alignment with yourself. You can see there's alignment right here. That's why justice shows up, because shit's out of alignment. People are out of alignment with themselves. And this is, I always talk about, don't be all up in your head. Don't be all up in your heart. Find that inner peace, that inner balance within yourself. All right. Those are some of my more favorite justice cards that we got. I'm going to put Matt back over here because we're going to do 3-card pulls tonight. I'm going to use the Tarot Apocalyptus to do 3-card pulls for us here in a little bit. But let's crack some books. Anybody bring their journal? I brought mine to the party tonight. Justice, number 11. Yeah, that's an interesting card too. Many tarot decks switch the numerology around with the strength card and justice. I like justice being 11. Again, it would represent the scales to me, the balance in the situation. And I like the infinity symbol over on the or 8 over on the strength card as well. Because, strength connects with all the 8s, right? Strength to do 8 cups, strength to release yourself from 8 swords. I'll teach on the alignments of all the majors here with the minors. That would be a nice little lesson for us to look at. That's beautiful. So for me, the strength card, because it's 8s, it goes along much better with the 8s in the tarot deck and all that fun stuff. All right, I brought my journal. I also got, the classic Tarot Fundamentals. It's Los Cabero book. You can still get it on Amazon if you want. Seems to be reasonably priced these days. I'm also going to be teaching, or there's a poem in here by Kim Huggins. Sometimes I forget to read them. I'm going to read the poem tonight. It's like the Justice card talking to us. And amazing descriptions come from this book right here, A Magical Course in Tarot by Michelle Morgan. So let's do it. Let's crack the books. Take a look at justice. Let me grade up right here. Need some blue blockers with a little more power on them. All right. Justice embodies the search for balance between all conflict. That's powerful in its own. It is the independence of mind, the ability to express opinions, to seek answers, and to act in a consistent manner. This can be found within oneself by harmonizing different needs, wishes, and possibilities. Justice points out that laws and morals do not depend solely on a subjective opinion of an individual. They stem from a greater universal or karmic source. The scale indicates the balance of opposites, head versus heart, matter versus spirit, and consciousness versus unconsciousness. The scale reflects the ability to access and distinguish right from wrong. Her sword points towards higher thinking and symbolizes the ability to act and separate from unjust actions. When justice speaks to you, she says, I am the reminder that you get what you give. Keep an open mind and be fair in all situations. Consider others when you make choices and judgments. Look to me for answers, for I shall reveal them to you. I represent your effort, your life's work, and your moral center. It's pretty powerful, but justice is a powerful card. Michelle Morgan, she has wonderful descriptions in this book. I wrote down in here a little note for love and relationships. They need to adjust the balance of power in a relationship or how the partners relate to each other or divide responsibilities within the household. I mean, that's pretty simple, but it is definitely justice as well. Kim Huggins calls this card the scales of karmic balance. And of course, this card represents the zodiac sign of Libra. Happy birthday, all my Libra friends in the house. Justice symbolizes the importance of balance and seeing all sides of any situation before making a decision. This card represents divine judgment as an angel of mercy armed with a sword and scale who weighs the opposing elements and dispenses fair and fitting sentence. Legal matters and contracts of all kinds may be implicated here. This card also speaks of being held accountable for your past. I got a giggle right there. Yeah. All right. And reaping what you have sown. So arm yourself with virtue and integrity. These are rare words anymore, man. Arm yourself with virtue and integrity and stand righteous in the face of tyranny. Man, you can almost get in trouble for talking like this anymore. But I'm just describing a tarot card here. Yeah. To defend and honor your truth. Have faith that justice will prevail. I love the descriptions in this book right here. It was definitely written before, we had to be politically correct. Because there's some words in there that get you in trouble, boy. Oh, all that honesty and clarity and all right, man. All right. Let's take a look at it right here. If it shows up on your tarot spread in the upright, traditional interpretation for judgment, a positive outcome to legal matters, which is always worth throwing out when justice shows up. Sowing future seeds, doing the right thing, no matter how challenging, being objective and considering other points of view, work, career, and calling, restoring balance in a situation. Let's see what Kim Huggins talks about justice in the upright. Balance, adjustment, consequence and effects, weighing things up, being at the fulcrum of a balancing act, equilibrium, maintaining the center, morality, law and order. Yeah, it's definitely justice. Let's see what else I got here in my book. Justice in the upright. Balance, equilibrium, maintaining order, righteousness, truth and honesty, positive dealings with the law and justice, the laws of nature, cosmic order, notions of reward, fairness, staying on the straight and narrow, aligning oneself with a sense of purpose and cosmic order. That brought such peace into my life when I applied this last one right here. Aligning oneself with a sense of purpose and cosmic order. That's really nice with this card. All right, let's take a look at if it shows up. Traditional interpretations of the Judgment card, which shows up in reverse on your tarot spread. Virginia Elizabeth, thank you for all you do around here too. Thank you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Virginia. Reversed. Negative outcome in a legal situation. Wearing blinders. I guess the blindfold would be appropriate in the reverse. You do not see the whole truth, hidden facts, unfair advantages against you. Oh, Lordy. Oh, Lordy. These majors are real cards, boy. Let me see here. Negatively aspected. Unfairness and imbalance. Falsehood. Negative dealings with the law and justice. Notions of punishment. The reverse of this card signifies an imbalance in your life that needs to be addressed. I'll just let it go at that. All right. I think we're up to keywords or buzzwords. You can always use your pause button if you get your journal out and want to put these in there. I got no problem with writing on my cards either. Never have. Let's go. Keywords. Justice. Objectivity. Equilibrium. Maintenance. Order. Law. Legal matters. Contracts. Promises. Consequences. Fairness. Balance. Partnership. Truth. Cause and effect. Judgment. Legalism. Decision making. Impartiality. Fairness. Sovereignty. Intellect. Logic. Court. Valor. Presence. Stiffness. Rules. Division. Work. Law. It's it's a real card. It really is. And like I said, it should never show up in a love reading. it's one of the cards that shows up regularly in love readings. Justice. People are just out of alignment with themselves. And many times they don't know how to pull energy from the divine. I'm talking about love readings. They don't know how to pull energy from the divine, so they pull energy from other humans. Only for so long till justice gets involved in it. Time to pay the piper. All right. I think we're up to Kim Huggins' poem. So let's do it. Let's see what justice was to say to us if it could talk. Justice, 11, the scales of karmic balance. For every action, there is a reaction. For every cause, there is an effect. I stand at the very center of all consequences. The still yet dramatic process by which the balance of the universe is maintained. I am the fulcrum. the tiptoe stand at the center. Some say I'm blind, but I see all. I do not judge, nor do I give value to one thing over another. I simply calculate. For the universe is one great calculation. Know the formula, and you will see how one thing gives way to another. The creation of something will always require displacement of another, and the subtle balance of your world depends upon that nature. Red in truth and claw, playing its role as swift creator, preserver, and destroyer. In my cosmic scales, you may find a reflection of your own justice. And in that, you must also know that all of your deeds have a consequence and a price. You tip the scales one way or another with every moment of your being. But do not let the talk of morality and law confound you. To pass through the veil that I guard, you must first understand that you, too, stand at the fulcrum of the cosmic balancing act, and that you are a part of the web of cause and effect, action and reaction, tied to every living being upon this planet. This web cannot be broken, and knowing this, you must yet find your heart weighs in the balance of a feather in my scales and pass through the veil. The scales of karmic balance, justice. Love it. It's a very, very powerful card. And it just comes down to seed time and harvest. A lot of times we see a lot of people doing a lot of crazy stuff and we wonder where justice is at. But it has to show up. That's all the universe can do is mirror. That's all it can do for us. And a lot of people use the word karma, but a lot of people don't understand what karma means. I like the terminology seed, time, and harvest, but I did come out of the church. Spent many years in the church world here in America. Seed, time, and harvest, and generally it goes like this. The seed is planted, and then it's like time, damn it, time, harvest. So just rest assured that justice always prevails. There's always fruit that grows from whatever seeds we plant in life. So plant good seeds, Plant good seeds. And don't freak out if it takes a minute. All right. Know that the seeds you sow are good seeds. And know that you're going to have a good harvest. And know that those that are not sowing good seeds, that they're going to receive a harvest too. You don't have to worry about it. You don't got to wonder about it. You ain't got to wait on it. You ain't got to look for it. As a matter of fact, turn your eyes from it. You may not want to see their harvest.